Namaskar. Good evening. By now, how is the Josh? So you had through various things during the day. I have no formal presentation to bore you. Just have little interaction. So this DPDP Act is very much in place, and the rules are also out, draft rules, but likely to be the final because already approved by the Home Ministry. Just one question I have to you all. What is the applicability of the DPDP on Indians? Any insight? क्या applicability है Indian citizens पे DPDP की? Is it applicable to all Indians? Anybody else? Any idea? The question itself is wrong because the law is not talking about citizenship at all. It is not even talking about the residence. Unlike GDPR, which talks about European residents, the DPDP is neither talking about citizenship nor talking about the residence. So what is the criteria? Any idea? You see, we are all jumping that, okay, DPDP is here, Lord, let's do something. There are challenges, there are solutions, yes. But is it very much there for you? Have you figured out? And some people are very happy now, this act is no more having any restriction on data transfers. So people are very, very happy. All the lobbyists are, going to their sponsors that, look, we have got it removed. Please pay. So what is the applicability? Anybody, any idea? So Indians are good at making laws. Sorry, can you come again? Nothing else, okay? There is something else. So it is applicable on the transactions in India. That's all. Simple. I think in a way he's talking about revenue is fine. Simple criteria, no? Whether you are a citizen, Indian citizen, you are an illegal immigrant, all these things are now very common. People are talking quite a bit about all this. So they say we will create a law which is not getting into any kind of a controversy. It's very, very simple. If a transaction is happening in India and personal data is involved, DPDP is applicable. Now this transaction is being done by an European or an American or anybody, including Indians, of course. So Kumbh Mela, we have people coming from all over the world. DPDP is applicable. Simple. Even free. Revenue is not a criteria. So even if you are doing a transaction which is for free, where no GST is applicable, it is applicable. Simple. Very simple. The second criteria, people were very happy that data transfer, free flow. You flow the data outside the country, but if it pertains to transactions, delivery of services and goods in India, the DPDP is applicable. So keep your data wherever you want for cost, for efficiency, for your love for a particular brand of cloud, etc. No problem. But DPDP is applicable. So this is how the applicability is. Now this is the only problem, or this is the simplest way of, I think, doing it, and they have done it very smartly. Consent, the primary way of collecting data, you take a consent. So we have this 35-page or 40-page agreement drafted by, lawyers paid per hour. Of course, The longer the agreement, the higher the fees, and difficult to understand. Even the person who would have drafted, if you ask him, this is what you have drafted, he will say, I don't know. Let me get through. No, this is no more allowed. DPDP says simple, because you will have to have it very, very simple. And how many languages? Any idea? 22, yes. That is the minimum number of languages. That is not the only number of languages. You can keep it in more languages. Because if your constituents are understanding none of these languages, probably they can ask and you will have to provide, and you should be providing. So again, if we go to Kumbh, you will have to probably Japanese, German, and every other language. Everybody, the whole world is converging there. So probably you need to have more languages. Is this the only way or something else? You can collect data. Tell me. Or you want a good lecture or a PPT glowed through your dying moments? I will say this conference. Glasses to पीछे दिख रहे हैं, अभी empty हैं. They will be filled very soon. So what is the other? Is the legitimate use. And what can be a legitimate use? Anybody, any idea? What can be a legitimate use for collection of data? बताइए. Pardon? Employment purpose, yes. Makes sense. But can you keep somebody's Aadhaar because you are giving him employment? Can you force him to give Aadhaar number or his Aadhaar card copy? Now he says, I don't know. So the criteria is legitimate use, minimum data. Minimum data. And you can't deny a service or goods just because that person is not agreeing to your dictate. In any case, Aadhaar data is not at all feasible, possible or legal to store except for industries which have been allowed as per Aadhaar Act. Banking, telecom, hotel is a complete no. All hotels who are collecting Aadhaar cards of the visitors, they are doing illegal things. It's completely illegal to store Aadhaar data in a hotel. So this hotel, if they are asking you, and all those who are residing here are residents or visiting any other hotel, and they are insisting or even collecting, they can see it, they can't store it. That's illegal, blatant. Yes? Very good question. Thank you, sir. What's your good name, sir? Jain साहब की जय हो. Agreed. Aadhaar is neither the proof of date of birth, it is neither the proof of your address. You are saying yes, and then you are saying, show me Aadhaar, I want to prove your address, I want to contact your kith and kin. It is only a proof that this biometric matches with the number generated, nothing else. Legally speaking, Aadhaar is a proof of the biometric and the number. Even the name may not be correct, right? Because, why? It is not a verifiable process. The way the Aadhaar is designed and the way the Aadhaar data is collected, you go to a village, if the headman of the village writes that Mr. Chotu Ram Sharma is residing in my village, because there is no address in a village, no. Village doesn't have street, flat number, any such thing. That's all. And Chotu Ram Sharma says, my age is 26 years. That's all. Fine. Nobody can question that whether he is 52, 26, 57, self-declaration. And if this village headman says, he might have come, diya hoga certificate, I don't have a record, because he doesn't keep a record of all these so-called letters issued. In fact, the MPs, MLAs, headmen, their stamps are used by some of their, known persons. So they will say, हाँ ठीक है, ठीक है. So, for the hotels, for example, if they really want to have a proper ID, what it should be? Voter ID card. For majors, that is a verified ID. That is legal to have. But Aadhaar, publicity चल रहा है, जिसका publicity, वही ठीक है. Honorable Supreme Court in a recent judgment has also said, I'm sure many of you might be aware that that's not a proof. The reason is very simple. The process is not verified at all. You go and declare your age, it's fine. Because Aadhaar is only your identity proof that you exist. And this is your biometric. Nothing else. It's not about citizenship at all. It's not about your place of residence. It's not about your date of birth. Nothing. And the Aadhaar Act prohibits collection of Aadhaar cards. So you can't keep it. You can't use it. Everybody is doing it, so let it be. Who am I to stop? Lawyers also need some business. So until there is a problem somewhere, people are violating some law, how will they get their business? So I am happy. You are violating, keep on doing it, please. Even after I am saying you, nothing will change. I trained a lot of police officers and judges, some 15,000 so far, law enforcement, 3,000-4,000 judicial officers. And the next day he will call me, sir, मेरा वीडियो बन गया. यार कल तो आपको बताया था कि भाई आजकल बहुत रिस्क है, वीडियो बन जाता है. नहीं सर, वो आई टुक माई फोन टू दी बाथरूम एंड मेरा वीडियो बन गया. अभी क्या करना है? अभी तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते, अब तो सब हो गया सर, अब तो पैसे ही दे सकते हैं. या तो नहीं नहीं सर, आई डोंट वांट टू पे. ओके, देन कीप योर फोन shut for some time, 3, 4, 5 days. By the time, this guy becomes frustrated. No, sir, this is not also possible because I am a very, very important person. Right? Somebody called me, say, I am very close to Modi ji, you might be knowing. I say, yes, of course. Because he is treating the whole country as a family, so everybody is so close to him. There is nothing closer than a family person. He is right. Please. No. Yeah. Let him. Yeah. Not everything. BFSI and telecom. Nowhere else. Because, no, it's not about required. Because so far, before 2 days ago, they were not allowed to run an authentication using the Aadhaar system. So if I can't authenticate you using the Aadhaar system, because I'm not allowed legally, I can't use it. Very simple. No. Please don't take it that way. I am not saying it is failing at all. Absolutely no.
Reflects like whatever Aadhaar is coming.
No.
Their objective, it's being failed.
No. It was never an objective of the Aadhaar, and it is. I am not talking at all. It is one of the most successful project ever done in India or across the globe. right? Where everybody's biometrics have been taken and they've been stored and running perfectly on a database. I mean, it's an IT conference that way. So it is not at all a failure. It is one of the best exercises ever done, and for the purpose it was done, it has been met. But I am only saying this was not the purpose to begin with. Address verification in a short span of time, age verification in a short span of time was neither required nor possible, because for all the people who are major, who are at the age of contract, the government has an ID card program called voter ID, which is verifiable, where an officer of the government will come to your place and check everything. So it was not required at all. It was only required that the biometric is used to identify people, because there were a lot of duplicates happening. Like in a PAN card also, a lot of duplicates happening. So it is to weed out duplication, nothing else. That was the only objective, and that objective was perfectly met. There is absolutely no failure here. Please don't take it that way. Yes, any other question? Oh. I don't have an Aadhaar card. I only have passport. Yes. 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 Yes.
No, that was the problem with that bank employee. That was the problem. No, 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 no. Even if you have reached their bank manager or anyone
No, no,
senior than that
now
clerk,
let
he
me
will-
come back to
he
let me
will-
come back to Jain Saab's. He's a very pertinent question. That something has gone wrong and they need to identify the person. As a matter of fact, sir, Aadhaar database is not available to the police authorities at all. They can't touch, they can't get any verification or any response from the Aadhaar database. So for them it is of no use. And as far as the paper Aadhaar or a printout of an Aadhaar is concerned, I mean, you know, you can get it for an 1 rupees, 5 rupees, 10 rupees. So I think that's not, typically it is being used as a, I mean, whatever you call it, but has no validity, has no meaning, because police has no access to the Aadhaar database. It's very, very clear. It's the law. So privacy as far as Aadhaar is concerned is already guaranteed. Nobody is allowed. Police is absolutely not in control, and they have no access to the Aadhaar database. Not at all. Right, sir? So I think a better idea is for all the hotels or anybody, if you want to identify the person, please ask for the voter card. Even a driving license is a better ID than the so-called Aadhaar. While it is most prevalent, everybody is taking and giving, so let the flow go on. But sometimes probably in such kind of conferences, we need to bring out some important points to the knowledge of everybody else. Otherwise, जो चल रहा है वो तो चल ही रहा है. ठीक है सर? Right. बच्चे को होटल में कैसे जगह देंगे? पेरेंट्स की मर्जी के बिना? Can you allow a child to contract in a hotel? पैसा कैसे देगा वो? We can't. That is what the DPDP Act is now saying very clearly. That if you want to store, I mean, I think it's very good. I was just coming to that point. It's very, very important point. A very contentious point also. That if you want to store the data or process the data of a child, take the consent of the guardian. And child means anybody less than 18 years in India. So if you want to give a room to a child, the guardian consent is required. Consent means the guardian has to be identified. Who is the guardian? Identification means you are having the ID of the guardian, including the children. Child may not have an ID, that's okay. Guardian ID is more than sufficient. If the guardian is saying he is my child, it's fine. That is between the guardian and the child to have the relationship in whatever manner, right? You need not get into this. That's not required for you. Some people are proposing that, using the Aadhaar method of identifying a child. It took me 48 hours to get my daughter's address changed claiming me as a guardian on the Aadhaar side. So somebody who is little illiterate will find it impossible to operate that site. That doesn't work. That's not the way. And we are talking about zillions of people in this country, not millions. So looking at the kind of numbers we have, such things will become very, very difficult. So simple, you take the idea of the parent and on the self-declaration basis, entertain the kid. Simple. Nothing else. You can't do it. Otherwise, your business will come to a halt. Time is over. No, please, sir. That's what this whole thing is all about. Mm-hmm. No. How? You are saying, you tell me how. I am asking you this question.
How do you do
Everybody
it with
wants to
PAN
know
card?
how.
How do you do it with PAN card? How do you do
Exactly.
it with... No, let me know.
Fantastic. Now, you are the speaker, I am the listener. Aadhaar identification is based on biometrics. That's all. That is the basis. I do not have access. As a hotel, I have no access allowed to the Aadhaar database. So a patron comes, he says, please identify yourself. He says, okay, give me a machine where I can put my Aadhaar. But the Aadhaar database is not identifying me. On the PAN card or voter card or driving license, the underlying idea is that the ID issued to you by the authority, signed by the authority, has to be accepted. While in Aadhaar, no card is officially issued. Even something on the website is more than sufficient. Or if you have a number claiming this is my number, is more than sufficient. No card is actually issued officially by Aadhaar through any process. While a driving license is always issued through a proper process and the authorities are bound to accept it. Voter card, similarly PAN card. So there is this difference. All right, thank you very much. I think time is over. If allowed by the organizers. Yes, that is what. Yes. Thank you.